Hey everyone, I'm Jay, and this is the 2016 Volkswagen Golf GTI, one of the best all-around performance hatchbacks of all time. I'm super excited to do this unboxing review for you today. I'm going to talk about its engine, its performance, fuel economy, interior and exterior, safety, driving aids, cargo space, and what's the competition as well. So there's a lot to talk about. So let's get started, but first I want to thank Del Grande Dealership Group in the San Francisco Bay Area for letting me come down and film today. Alright, so the Volkswagen Golf GTI first launched way back in 1975. This is the segment that Volkswagen literally defined the hot hatch. The idea of it for it is very, very simple. You take a basic daily driver hatchback and you give it a high performance package. It's a combination that's both practical and sporty, and the Golf GTI, in fact, was one of the first small cars to use mechanical fuel injection, which I bet you didn't know. Now, right now, this is the 7th generation Golf GTI. It first went on sale only last year, back in 2015, and it still remains true to its ancestors because it just adds power, performance, and convenience all in one great package. Now, looking at this exterior design here, it's very simple. I think it's subtle, but still very sporty. You have these really nice 18-inch alloy wheels. I love the red trim. You'll see it on the front end, as well as the red brake calipers. You have that dual exhaust, and it's just an overall dynamic looking car. And when you see the interior, you'll notice the same thing. If you didn't think that this was a hot hatchback, those wheels could almost be mistaken for something on a really exotic car. But once you get the whole car in view here, they just look so good. So under the hood here, all VW GTIs come with a 2.0-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. It has a total of 210 horsepower and 258 pound-feet of torque. It can be paired to either a 6-speed manual or a 6-speed dual-clutch transmission, which is a $1,100 option. But in either case, both transmissions send power to the front wheels. There's also the performance package option, which for an extra couple $1,000, you're going to get an additional 10 horsepower. So it'll be a total of 220 horsepower. You'll also get with that package bigger front and rear brakes and an electronically controlled mechanical limited slip differential. And as I was saying with the exterior, this interior, it's just very refined, it's simple, but it's also sporty. It's practical. You can be comfortable in this car every day, whether you're driving it on a twisty mountain road or just going to the mall. It's just a great all-around vehicle, and this interior reflects the convenience of that entirely. So this car here, it is equipped with leather seats. That is optional, but you can also get plaid cloth upholstery standard. That is pretty much a GTI tradition, the plaid upholstery seats. They're not for everybody, but for those who want something a little more luxurious, you have this really nice black leather with this red stitching as well. You would almost think that this interior, the quality of it would be found on something much more expensive. I couldn't find a hard plastic anywhere. Everything was just soft touch. It was just very nice quality. The build quality itself was also very good. You could tell that Volkswagen puts a lot of effort into ensuring that its cars are not cheap. They want you to have a premium driving experience, and you're going to feel that entirely with this car. I also like that steering wheel. You sort of have that flat bottom steering wheel look going. It's just another sporty option that this car has. So let's start up the engine and see how that sounds for a second. Okay, and that was the turbocharged 4-cylinder 2.0-liter engine. Performance is actually really good. You're going to go from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 5.8 seconds and a top speed of 124 miles per hour, which in this car I think that is more than good enough. I know a lot of German cars, specifically BMWs and Mercedes, they have electronically limited top speeds of 155 miles per hour, but in this case, I think 124 miles per hour is more than good enough. So looking at this interior here, as I mentioned, I really like the steering wheel. It's simple. There's a few buttons on there, but nothing too much or that'll keep you occupied from watching the road. You have this nice 6.5-inch touchscreen here. Now, compared to other touchscreens out there, I found the navigation here a little difficult to understand at first. There was a bit of a learning curve, so after a few minutes I got the hang of it, but I think Volkswagen could make the system a little simpler. But overall, this was a solid system. I like the colors, there was no rebooting, it was very responsive, and it also comes with Volkswagen's CarNet app, and it'll allow you to access your smartphone's music and maps via Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, depending on the smartphone that you have. So let's talk fuel economy here. If you get the 6-speed dual clutch transmission, you're going to get 25 miles per gallon in the city, 33 miles per gallon on the highway, and a combined 28 miles per gallon. For the 6-speed manual, which you're going to be surprised to hear this, it's literally the same as the dual clutch. It's going to be 25 miles per gallon in the city, 34 miles per gallon on the highway, and a combined 28. It's literally identical. So if you prefer to row your own gears, not a problem. You're not going to have to sacrifice fuel economy. And in a lot of other cars equipped with automatics or dual clutches, those transmissions always deliver better fuel economy, and the manuals don't. But in the case of the GTI here, there's really no difference. The interior also has this nice dual zone climate control, and I like the fact that there's 3 knobs there as opposed to having all the climate control in the touch screen. That's becoming really common. And I think in future GTIs, it's all going to become one touchscreen pad, similar to what you find on a Tesla. And what's nice about this dual clutch, you can put it in the manual mode as well. It just, it just depends on how you feel like driving. But the dual clutch, it's very fast, it's very responsive, and I know most buyers are going for that option. So let's talk safety here. So most cars today, brand new cars, they have to be very safe according to government standards. And the GTI is no exception to that. It comes standard with anti-lock disc brakes, electronic stability and traction control, a tire pressure monitoring system. You're also going to see the familiar dual front driver and passenger airbag, front and side airbags, side curtain airbags, and a driver knee airbag as well, which I think is really important. What's also kind of cool is that as a standard feature, Volkswagen has given the GTI, it's basically a post-crash braking system. It automatically applies the brakes after an impact to reduce the likelihood of a secondary crash, which is pretty cool. This car is also equipped with a power sunroof there, which is it's a nice feature. They called this a panoramic sunroof. I really don't think it is. It doesn't extend to the rear seat so much, but it's nice to have for sure. So a lot of people also ask me, how does a hot hatch like the VW GTI drive? Simple. It's immensely fun to drive. As I was saying, that dual clutch is very quick, and the limited slip differential in the performance package also helps with better track day performance. And above all, I found the GTI best on twisty mountain roads, but it's all up to you how you want to use this. If you just want to go fast in traffic, that's possible, but I really recommend taking this to a nearly empty street and just having fun. This car also has the optional lighting package, which it adds adaptive headlights and LED running lights. I think it's really nice. Now, if you notice how the VW emblem in the back lifts up there, that's what that covers the rear camera, which is really cool. So the camera itself is hidden, or the lens itself is protected by the VW emblem. I've seen that before in other cars, but it looks really good here. Again, it's about how Volkswagen is just refined the styling and made it very simple, and it's just a great package. You have these nice 12-way power driver's seat here. What Volkswagen does is they want everyone to be able to drive a GTI regardless of your height. This car is made for the masses. It's not a supercar where you sit really low to the ground or anything like that. Now, these seats are also heated, so again, it's great in the winter. And I forgot to mention earlier the tires. They're all-season tires, but as a no-cost option, you can also get performance summer tires put on as well. But if you live in a snowy area of the country, I really recommend going for the all-season tires, at least during the winter months. You can always swap your tires in the summer. The summer performance tires are they're a little slicker, better traction, and well, they're just better for the track. Okay, so what's the competition to a Golf GTI? Very simple. You also have the Ford Focus ST, the Subaru WRX and WRX STI, the Mini Hardtop S and JCW, and then there's also the smaller Ford Fiesta ST. So if you don't need something quite as big, even though I don't want to say big, when talking about a Volkswagen GTI, a little more compact, the Fiesta ST is also a great choice. But if you want all-wheel drive, you're going to need to go for either the two Subarus. But if you want an all-wheel drive hot hatch, there's also the VW Golf R or the Ford Focus RS, excuse me. Both are great cars as well. Now, cargo space with the just behind the driver's seat with the rear seats up, you have 22.8 cubic feet of cargo, but with the 60/40 split folding seats, you have a class-leading 52.7 cubic feet of space. Fantastic. Now, what complaints do I have about the Golf GTI? Not many. Two things strike me in particular. First off, the 6.5-inch touchscreen, it's a little small. The Ford Focus ST, just to give you some comparison here, has an 8-inch touchscreen. So that's something else Volkswagen I think can work on. And the second thing is there was a slight bit of turbo lag when I was hitting the gas. Not a big deal, but it's one of those things that I just happened to notice, and I think other enthusiast drivers will notice it as well. And the Golf GTI also received a 5-star crash test rating. It's received good scores from the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety. It's just a very smart and well-designed performance car that you can use every single day without any complaints. Again, it is one of my favorite cars on the market all around. The segment VW invented back in 1975. There's been many copies of the Golf GTI ever since, but in my opinion, I think this is still the best hot hatch you can buy. Pricing starts at $25,000. It goes up to $35,000, and you can get a lot of great options in between. So everybody, I'm out of time for today. Thanks a lot for watching. Leave any comments for me in the comment section below, and be sure to check out the full review of the Golf GTI on carbuzz.com. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you next time.